Hello guys, my name is Nazima. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am so excited to announce my series called How to Stop Blank. So this series are going to have 6 episodes in total, and today we are starting with the first episode called How to Stop Overthinking. And in every single video I am going to provide you with downloadable PDF or Notion templates that you are so welcome to use after or during watching this video, that I hope will be so helpful for you. And now let's start with our first episode. If you're someone who constantly overthinks, constantly thinks, oh, what if I said that? What if this happened? What would those people think about me? Oh, what if I behaved a different way? Then would I receive a different outcome? Blah, blah, blah. And there are so many ways you can overthink your life and self-sabotage yourself. But right now, we are going to fix that. Now, the first thing that I want to say is that it's totally fine to be an overthinker. Every single person is an overthinker. Like, it's a normal human nature to overthink things, to constantly think about what other people would think about you, what if something different happened, if you acted the different way, if you said something different, and so on. Like, these things are so normal. Now, I understand you completely because I am one of you. I am a huge overthinker and I always overthink everything I say, everything I do, everything, like what would happen if I acted a different way, if I chose a different path in life, and so on and so forth. And I just want to say that these things will never let you peacefully live your life. They will constantly make you feel nervous, make you feel like you're missing out on something, have FOMO, and you're always going to feel rushed, always feel overwhelmed, always feel like something is missing, and you're just not ever going to really enjoy your life because you're overthinking your thoughts, everything. They will not let you. And now you just need to stop giving your power to those things because they're literally stealing your joy from the present moment. Okay, look, I always was someone who would constantly overthink other people's words in her mind, right? For example, I would have a conversation with someone, for example, my sister or my mother or anyone else, and then I would, like, time would pass and I would sit and reminisce about that convo, and I would be like, oh, why did they say that? What did they mean, like something different? And then I would come up with totally negative scenarios in my mind, like, oh, they are so criticizing me, they are thinking these things, they're judging me, blah blah blah. And then when those thoughts would not really give me peace, and I would, like, I have to address this thing because I can't calm down. Okay, I can't calm down, and I have to go and talk to them about these things. And then I would go and really be honest with them and say, okay, like, did you mean this by saying that? Like, because honestly, this isn't giving me peace, and I'm like sitting nervously and I cannot calm myself down. And then they would think, no, you totally misunderstood it, like, and they would go ahead and explain, and their explanation would make so much sense, and I would be like, okay, I need to sit down. Because I just, like, it is totally normal that a human mind constantly thinks about, like, things that people would judge you, because our mind is programmed to protect us from anything dangerous or anything negative, and that's why our mind is programmed to give us scenarios of what could go wrong so that we could, like, prevent that thing, right? And that is why our mind constantly thinks, like, oh, that person said that because they hate you or something else, okay? And then when I understood that, when I finally realized that that was just my own thinking, I would, the next time that would happen, like, I would have a convo with anyone and I would misunderstand them and I would, like, worry about it, I would just calm down and I would say, it might be your overthinking again, but if you're not sure, go and, like, talk to that person and address the issue and, like, talk to them honestly. It's not about going and having an argument and start a fight or start proving yourself or anything like that. No, I am like I literally mean going and being honest about it and saying, you know, I feel like you said this thing because you felt this way about me and I didn't like it because blah blah blah, and then that person will obviously tell you what they really meant. And if it's something that you overthinked about, which happens really rarely, that's why I always doubt when I feel like someone is judging me or I misunderstand the situation. That's why I always doubt it and I go and ask that person what did they really mean. Another thing is, if you are just a bit like me, you in your life at some point in time always felt like that people hated you for no reason whatsoever. You felt like they just ignored you, like consciously chose to ignore you and talk to other people and so on and so forth. I will give you an example. When I was at college, I would study with my sister there, and we had the same friends, the same people that we got to know because we were studying on the same program. And with those people, we would talk, we would become friends, we would support each other and so on, and we would have like convos whenever we meet. And then there was a time when all of a sudden I would be like, you know, this person ignores me and he hates me. And that would be not only with one person in particular, that was with a lot of people. And that's when I realized that the problem was literally me, that it wasn't those people. Because honestly, those people never told me, you know, I hate you and I don't want to talk to you. Because that would be really crazy. And that's why I realized, okay, like this is totally me. And then it would seem like to me all the time that they constantly ignored me, that we would stand with my sister, like my sister would stand near me and they would come up to us and we would start talking, and basically I felt like they would constantly talk to my sister and not to me. They wouldn't even make eye contact with me and they would constantly talk to her. And then I would feel like they really hated me, those people. And then when I told my sister that, I told like, you know, I feel like everyone hates me and like I don't understand why. I don't really get why they would hate me because I literally did nothing bad. And then she told me, you know, I think it's your like issue is in you because you're literally thinking that all people hate you. Like that is impossible. Okay, like all people cannot hate you at the same time. This is crazy because you're a normal, like kind person, and why would anyone hate you for no reason whatsoever? And especially a lot of them, right? And then I was like, yeah, you know, you're right. Basically, I think I need to go within and solve that issue because it was obvious that it was in me. And then I was thinking, okay, why is that happening? And then I realized that that was literally low self-esteem. And I honestly tell that in every single one of my videos, that every single thing in your life depends on your self-esteem, on your conception of yourself, on how much you love yourself, and on the level of belief that you have in yourself. And I was basically 18 and I didn't get that, like, why would that happen? But then all of a sudden, I decided to sit down in a quiet place and I asked myself that question. Honestly, I addressed that issue and I said, you know, I need answers. Like, why do you feel this way? Why do you feel like those people hate you? And then my conscious mind would be like, you know, because I feel like they ignore me, I feel like they judge me, I feel like they don't want to talk to me, I feel like they're avoiding me, and so on. And like my mind would speak over, and I would, oh my god, just stop, please. And then something very, very great happened. I got an answer saying, okay, but who told you this? This question is the best one you can ask yourself. Anytime you are overthinking, ask yourself this question: who told you this? Who told you those people hate you? Who told you those people judge you? Who told you you're not good enough? And so on. Like, these questions are the best ones to address, because you know what? Most of the time, your answer is going to be no one. Because literally no one would ever tell you you are not deserving of a certain thing, especially when you're not talking about that thing. Now, can we please talk about self-esteem? Because I find this topic super important, and I believe that it is directly related to overthinking. Look, I always was a person who would never care about other people. Like, I wouldn't care about what they thought about me. I wouldn't care about what they did, blah, blah, blah. Even if they said bad things, and I knew that, like, they said bad things about me behind my back, and I knew that I wouldn't care, like, ever in my life. Like, I would be like, I genuinely don't care. Like, they can say anything, it's their issue. And then something shifted, something clicked, and all of a sudden, I became this person with low self-esteem. The person who would constantly overthink every single thing that happened in her life and would constantly be like, I want to be liked by other people. And I don't know how it is related to what happened to me at those times, because my friends betrayed me and like a lot of things happened, and basically I think that's why I kind of lost myself and my self-esteem went down, and I would be like constantly doubting myself, and that's why like that overthinking arose in my mind and everything started happening. And that is exactly the reason why I believe that self-esteem is directly related to overthinking. Because see, when you have that huge confidence in yourself, when you have this strong character inside you, when you feel like you are so strong, nothing can stop you, and you have this whole faith in you, you are not going to second guess yourself, you're not going to doubt yourself. You would not sit in your room and cry over people who don't know your worth. When you have a high conception of yourself, you are not doubting every single word you say. You are not scared that people might say bad things about you or they might hate you, because you wouldn't care, okay? When you really have that self-love, you don't care of what people will say about you or whether they hate you or not. You know that you love yourself, and that is super enough for you and super enough to live a whole beautiful life. Another very helpful trick that I want to share is always accepting things, always accepting every single overthinking thought you have. For example, you believe that everyone hates you and everyone says bad stuff about you, and then you sit and accept that thing and say, okay, I accept that I think those things, and then you ask yourself questions like, okay, but is this true? And you keep asking yourself this question. So basically you're going and doubting your overthinking thoughts. And see what you're doing here, you are killing your enemy with its own weapon. And then you're going to sit and think, oh, but is this video going to end without Nazima saying you need to journal? No, don't worry, I am here to tell you, you need to journal, because journaling is in fact the best exercise to ever do whenever you are overthinking. Go ahead, take your journal and start writing down your thoughts every single morning and every single evening before bed. You know what? Actually do that instead of scrolling your phone on social media, because see, social media all the time makes us overthink and have FOMO, like we are missing out on something, and so we cannot rest normally. We always feel like we're overwhelmed, we always feel like we're in a rush, we need to do something, we need to be somewhere, we need to be in the presence of other people, and we need to talk to them, and so on and so forth. Like, we cannot just let ourselves do what we need to do here and now, and that is be here and now. You need to actually, with your mind, be wherever your feet are. This is exactly what journaling helps you with. 1 hour before going to sleep, switch off your phone, switch off all the devices you have, and start journaling for at least 30 minutes. Write down your thoughts or meditate, or like just do breathing exercises, anything simple, anything that would help you. Do anything, but don't scroll. Don't fill your mind with unnecessary information, because that information also will lead you to overthinking, also will lead you to triggers, to anxiety, to other things that you don't want to think about. So just switch off the noise of the outer world. It is actually the best time for you to go within and actually reflect on your thoughts, reflect on everything that's going on in your life, and just calm yourself down, calm your mind down, so that your thoughts don't rush you to doing whatever is unnecessary for you to do, so that your thoughts don't give you triggers or anxiety. That's actually how I deal personally with overthinking and anxiety. I always do breathing exercises, but whenever it's really bad for you and nothing helps, whenever it's just got you to the point where you're like, it needs to stop, and you're like super nervous about this thing and you're super scared, you just start talking to yourself super strictly. Like when I was going through that, I would tell myself, you know what, you need to shut up right now, go and shut up, okay? Or you might talk to your thoughts, talk to the actual thoughts that don't give you peace. You can talk to them saying like, you know what, thank you so much for your concern, but I didn't invite you to my mind, so you are free to leave right now, because basically I don't need you, so bye-bye. And you just literally do that. You literally talk to your thought. And I know it might seem really weird and strange to do, but trust me, the effect is like super cool. You calm yourself down so fast, and you actually feel like that thought left your mind and body, and you're free of it. You are so free to use any and every technique that I mentioned in this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video helped you guys, and I will see you in the next episode of the How to Stop series. Bye bye.